Attention! 89% of Americans over 65 are drinking coffee every morning, but still watching their muscles waste away, not knowing they're missing one simple addition that could reverse years of strength loss in just weeks. You might be one of them. If you're climbing stairs slower, feeling weaker getting out of chairs, or noticing your legs just don't feel as strong as they used to, this isn't just normal aging. In fact, let me tell you about Sarah from Denver, who went from needing help getting out of bed to deadlifting 95 pounds at age 71, and Robert from Tampa, who was using a walker but is now back to playing tennis with his grandchildren. There's something shocking happening inside your muscle cells that your doctor probably hasn't told you about, and I'll reveal how to fix it with something you can add to your morning coffee starting tomorrow. But first, I need you to try this quick test. Pause for a moment and stand up from wherever you're sitting without using your hands. How did that feel? Easy or difficult? This simple test reveals everything about what's happening to your muscle strength right now. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll discover the science-backed compound that turns your daily cup of coffee into a muscle-rebuilding metabolic tool, why most seniors are losing muscle despite eating enough protein, the exact timing and dosage that's working for thousands of Americans over 65, and coming up in just 8 minutes, I'll share the complete morning protocol that takes less than 5 minutes but could save your independence for decades. Here's what most people don't realize. After age 60, your body develops something called anabolic resistance. Think of your muscles like a house that needs daily repairs. When you're young, every time you eat protein, your body sends in construction workers to patch things up and build new walls. But after 60, your foreman stops responding to the signal. Let me tell you about Margaret from Phoenix. At 72, she was eating protein at every meal, eggs for breakfast, chicken for lunch, fish for dinner. She was even doing light exercises her physical therapist recommended. But she kept getting weaker. She couldn't lift her 8-pound granddaughter anymore. She needed help carrying groceries. She was doing everything right, but her muscles were still disappearing. The workers show up, but they're disorganized. The repair slows down, and over time, your muscle tissue starts crumbling faster than it's being rebuilt. This is why you can be eating plenty of protein, even exercising regularly, but still feel yourself getting weaker. Your muscle cells have become less responsive to the growth signals. It's not that you're not trying hard enough. It's that your body's muscle-building switch, called mTOR, isn't getting turned on properly anymore. According to research published in the journal Nutrients, older adults require 30 to 40% more leucine-rich protein per meal to get the same muscle-building response as younger adults. But here's the breakthrough that changed everything for Margaret and thousands of others. Instead of forcing yourself to eat massive amounts of protein, you can bypass this resistance with one specific amino acid that acts like a master key for muscle growth. And when Margaret discovered this secret, which I'm about to reveal, everything changed in just 28 days. The nutrient I'm talking about is L-leucine, and it's the spark that ignites muscle building in your body. Imagine you're trying to start a fire. You can have all the wood in the world, that's your protein, but without a spark, nothing happens. Leucine is that spark. When you consume enough leucine at one time, especially in the morning, it flips on the mTOR pathway and tells your muscle cells to start growing, repairing, and rebuilding. Let me show you what happened to Robert, a 68-year-old retired teacher from Ohio. Robert couldn't climb the stairs in his own house without stopping halfway to catch his breath. His legs felt like jelly. His doctor told him it was normal aging and to take it easy. But Robert discovered this leucine protocol. And after just 21 days, he was not only climbing stairs easily, he was back to hiking the trails he loved in his 40s. After 60 days, he sent me a photo deadlifting 135 pounds at his local gym. Here's what makes this even more powerful. A 2020 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults who added leucine to their meals saw a 16 to 30% increase in muscle protein synthesis compared to those who didn't. That's remarkable, especially when you consider that this can happen even without intense exercise. But here's the catch that most people miss, and this is crucial for your success. To activate mTOR properly, you need what's called a threshold dose of leucine, typically 2.5 to 3 grams per serving, taken all at once. That's equivalent to eating about 30 to 40 grams of high-quality protein, like eats 5 eggs or a full chicken breast in one sitting. Think about your breakfast yesterday. Did you eat 5 eggs worth of protein? Most seniors don't eat that much protein at breakfast, and as a result, they miss the anabolic window completely. This is where your morning coffee becomes the perfect delivery system. Let me tell you about Maria from Tampa, 74 years old. Maria tried everything: protein shakes, expensive supplements, even hired a personal trainer. Nothing worked. She was frustrated, spending hundreds of dollars a month and still feeling weaker every day. Then she discovered this coffee method. Instead of trying to force down a huge protein meal first thing in the morning, she simply added 3 grams of Leucine powder to her black coffee. It dissolves easily, has virtually no taste, and starts working within 20 to 30 minutes. She got the muscle growth signal without the heavy meal, and if you're doing intermittent fasting, Leucine won't break your fast in the traditional sense because it doesn't spike insulin significantly. After 28 days, Maria was back to gardening, carrying her own groceries. And here's the best part. She was dancing at her daughter's wedding. But why coffee specifically? And this is where the science gets really exciting. When you wake up, your body is in a fasted state. Insulin is low, cortisol is naturally elevated, and that creates a unique metabolic environment. Caffeine stimulates your sympathetic nervous system, increases blood flow, and temporarily boosts metabolism. This means faster absorption of nutrients and better signaling through the mTOR pathway when the right amino acids are present. When you combine leucine with black coffee, you get faster absorption through your gut, improved delivery into muscle cells, and activated mTOR when your body is highly responsive. It's like adding kindling to a fire just as the first flames are catching. A 2022 study in Frontiers in Physiology showed that taking leucine in a low insulin state, like during morning fasting, resulted in significantly higher activation of mTOR and greater muscle protein synthesis in older adults than the same dose taken later with a mixed meal. Plus, black coffee doesn't contain competing amino acids or glucose that might interfere with the leucine signal. Here's the protocol that changed everything for Margaret, Robert, Maria, and thousands of others. Get ready to take notes because this is your blueprint for rebuilding strength. Step 1. Choose the right leucine. You need free-form L-leucine powder, not blends, not BCAA capsules, and not whey protein with a little leucine mixed in. You want pure, pharmaceutical-grade L-leucine that lists leucine as the sole ingredient, ideally third-party tested with no fillers, sweeteners, or additives. Step 2. The critical dose. 2.5 to 3 grams per serving, roughly 3/4 of a teaspoon. Think of mTOR like a garage door. For young people, it lifts easily with a small push. For older adults, the spring is worn and you need more pressure to get it moving. That extra pressure is your 3-gram dose of leucine. Step 3. Perfect timing. First thing in the morning, within 30 to 60 minutes after waking. This is the anabolic window when your body is insulin sensitive and hormones are primed for muscle building. Here's your complete morning protocol. 5 to 10 minutes after waking, drink a glass of water with a pinch of sea salt or a squeeze of lemon. This rehydrates your body and gently stimulates your natural morning energy hormones. Next, make your regular cup of black coffee. Avoid added sugar or heavy cream. If needed, use unsweetened almond or coconut milk, but avoid anything that spikes insulin. Add 3 grams of L-leucine powder and stir it into your coffee while it's hot. It dissolves best in heat and has no real taste. If you're sensitive to texture, blend the coffee briefly for better mixing. Drink this within 30 to 60 minutes of waking, then wait another 30 to 60 minutes before eating your first meal. When you do eat, make it a high-protein meal with eggs, grass-fed beef, or wild-caught fish, along with some healthy fats and low-starch vegetables. If you want to amplify the effects, do 5 to 10 minutes of light resistance exercise after your coffee. Even bodyweight squats, wall push-ups, or resistance bands can enhance the mTOR signal and accelerate muscle response. Let me tell you about James from Seattle, 69 years old. James followed this exact protocol for 45 days. He started with simple bodyweight squats after his morning coffee, just 5 repetitions. By day 45, he was doing 25 squats, carrying heavy boxes at his volunteer job, and his grandkids couldn't believe how strong Grandpa had gotten. Here's what makes this strategy so powerful beyond just muscle building. Muscle is your primary metabolic engine. Even at rest, muscle tissue burns 3 times more energy than fat. When you lose muscle, your basal metabolic rate drops, meaning you burn fewer calories even if your diet doesn't change. This is why many Americans gain fat more easily after 60, even when eating healthy. But muscle is also your main storage site for glucose. Every time you eat carbs, your body relies on muscle tissue to absorb and buffer the sugar. When muscle mass shrinks, glucose has nowhere to go, so it stays in the blood, triggering chronically high insulin. This leads to belly fat that won't budge, brain fog and fatigue, higher triglycerides, and increased risk of diabetes. The beautiful thing is, the opposite is also true. Rebuild muscle and you restore insulin sensitivity. Even just a 10% increase in lean muscle mass can dramatically improve blood sugar control and fat burning without changing your diet. Studies show that preserving muscle also supports hormonal balance, joint protection, cognitive function, inflammation control, and immune health. A 2021 study in the Journal of Cachexia, Sarcopenia, and Muscle found that seniors with higher muscle mass had a 40% lower risk of death from all causes over 5 years. So, while a scoop of leucine in your coffee might seem simple, it's actually sending a powerful signal to your entire physiology to stay strong, stay resilient, and stay metabolically young. Most people who use this protocol consistently notice improved energy and muscle tone within 10 to 14 days. They report that stairs feel easier, their legs feel steadier, and they have fewer leg cramps or concerns about falling. Some notice better blood sugar stability and improved mental clarity, likely due to better glucose handling and increased energy production in brain cells. Let me share one more story. Dorothy from Michigan, 78 years old. Dorothy was convinced her weekdays were over. She'd given up on feeling strong again, but after 60 days of this coffee protocol, she sent me a video of herself doing push-ups, real push-ups, for the first time since her 20s. Here's what you need to avoid to make this work. Don't combine leucine with high-carb breakfasts like toast, cereal, or fruit smoothies. Avoid whey protein blends with mixed amino acids, artificial sweeteners, or additives that interfere with absorption. Don't use cold drinks, as leucine dissolves much better in hot liquid. The key is consistency. Use this protocol at least 5 days a week for 2 to 4 weeks before assessing results. You don't need expensive gym memberships or complicated meal plans. You just need the right signal at the right time with the right nutrient, and that's exactly what this Leucine Plus coffee protocol provides. Remember, muscle doesn't disappear overnight, but it can be rebuilt faster than most people think if you create the right internal environment. This simple morning habit could be the difference between feeling strong and independent at 75, 80, or even 90, versus struggling with basic daily activities. Think about what that means for your future. Being able to play with grandchildren, travel confidently, maintain your independence, and avoid the cascade of health problems that come with muscle loss. This isn't just about looking better in the mirror. It's about the confidence of knowing your body will support the life you want to live. Your 7-day challenge starts now. Wake up and hydrate, brew black coffee, stir in 3 grams of L-leucine, and notice how your body responds. Track your energy, strength, stability, and mood. Notice if stairs feel easier, if your legs feel steadier, if your appetite and energy stabilize throughout the day. Most importantly, imagine what consistent muscle building could mean after 30 days, 60 days, or 6 months. You're not just drinking coffee anymore. You're sending a daily signal to your body that says we're staying strong, we're staying active, and we're not giving up on our physical independence. The research is clear. The solution is simple, and the results speak for themselves. Muscle loss isn't inevitable, it's addressable, and it starts with something as simple as upgrading your morning coffee. Think about this. What's the first thing you'll do when you feel strong again? Maybe it's playing on the floor with grandchildren. Maybe it's taking that vacation you've been putting off. Or maybe it's just the confidence of knowing you can handle whatever life brings your way. Take action today. Because every day you wait is another day of potential muscle loss. But every day you implement this protocol is a day your body gets the signal to rebuild, repair, and strengthen. Your future self will thank you for making this one small change that could have such a massive impact on your health, independence, and quality of life. The choice is yours. Keep drinking regular coffee and accept gradual weakness, or add one simple ingredient and start rebuilding the strength you thought was gone forever. Your muscles are waiting for the right signal. Give it to them starting tomorrow morning. In my next presentation, I reveal the 3 worst foods that accelerate muscle loss after 60. And you won't believe number 2. It's something 80% of health-conscious seniors eat every single day, thinking it's good for them, but it's actually sabotaging their muscle-building efforts. Until then, remember that strength isn't just about muscles, it's about independence, confidence, and the freedom to live life on your terms. That freedom starts with your next cup of coffee.